Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about all the books that I plan to read for the rest of 2024. Maybe not the ones I plan to read, but the ones that I hope I get to. I think I'm like 62 books into the year so far, and I definitely have not read a lot of the books that I planned to read, but that's just the way the cookie crumbles when you read and new books come out and you don't always get to all the books you want to, but these are the ones that I hope that I do get to before the year's over. And I'll probably forget lots and think about them later, but that's fine. Starting off with a couple of arcs, we have Double Apex by Josie Juniper. This is an arc that comes out in October, and I am so excited for this. I personally requested that from Forever Publishing, and I got it, and I'm very excited for it. It's an F1 romance, which we love. And then we have Humor Me by Kat Shook, which I believe is like a women's fiction, but also a romance. And I think it's set in New York City, which is what I love. I love New York City books. And this is also an advanced reader copy, but I do believe it's already out. And then we have another arc. This is Ready or Not by Andy Peretta. It actually is a graphic novel, which I haven't read any of since I was in high school. So I'm really excited for that. And this is an arc that came out in April. So I'm obviously long past getting it done before it comes out, but that's A Better World by Sarah Langan. I think this is like a Black Mirror style type of thriller, and I am very excited. I have been excited, and I literally read like 10 pages and then I put it down and forgot to pick it up. So it does happen. Before I forget, I do want to read Powerful and Reckless by Lauren Roberts. I have not gotten to those yet, and I've heard mixed things about Reckless, so I'm not 100% sure how I feel about that one, but I know that I do want to get to it at some point, so hopefully. I think it's more of a fall read for me. I'm more of a fall fantasy gal. I prefer my fantasies in fall. And then this is what I want to get to very soon. I might take this on my trip with me this coming week. It's Not in Love by Ali Hazelwood. You know I love Ali Hazelwood. I've heard this one is more spicy than her usual books, which I'm not sure how I feel because like that's not always what I'm there for. I find I actually end up skipping a lot of adult spicy scenes in books if it's just not really what I'm there for. But I've loved every single Ali Hazelwood book that I've read, so I don't think that'll be any different. And then we have The Dead Romantics by Ashley Poston. I also want to read her newest one, A Novel Love Story. I want to read this first though, but I do want to get A Novel Love Story because the cover is stunning. Ashley Poston just has a way of making very original books, and her romances are not like any others that I've read, and I loved The 7 Year Slip so much, so I know I'm going to love this. This is actually one that's going to be in a video very soon, Archer's Voice by Mia Sheridan. I want to read my followers 5-star reads of this year, and this was one of them that was mentioned that I hadn't read before. And I've heard a lot of good things about this. I believe it's a small town romance, and I know a lot of people cry reading this. So I'm into a heartfelt romance. So this is one that's been on my TBR for a long time, and I finally got it, so I really have no excuse not to read it. Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren. This is another one I want to read while it's still summer because I think it's like a summer vibe. People compare this to Every Summer After by Carly Fortune, which I loved, but people usually say that they hate Every Summer After because they love this, and apparently they're too similar. So I'm interested to see, because I read the other one first, if I won't like this for that reason or if I'll like it because of how much I liked it, you know? Like I feel like it could go either way. Expiration Dates by Rebecca Searle is one I've been wanting to read for so long. And by so long, I mean a couple of months, but in book world, that's so long. My friend Julie read this and she loved it, and it's really short, and unpopular opinion, but I actually love deckled edges, and this has that. It gives me the same vibe that Ashley Poston's books give me because it's like has like a magical element, or like it's almost like magical realism where it's like real life, but there's like a couple little magical elements in it. And I love that in a book. I think that's why I love Divine Rivals so much, because it's a fantasy book, but it really feels like more of a magical realism. Feeders by Caleb Stevens. I really want to read more of his work, and this is the only other book he has, I think. My first 5-star of this year was The Girls in the Cabin by Caleb Stevens, and this is his other book, and I don't know why it's taking me so long. This is one that I'm planning. Right now I'm filming a video. This video ends when I find a 5-star thriller. And if I haven't found one soon, this is the next one I'm planning to pick up. Another really random thriller I want to read is Before I Go to Sleep by S.J. Watson. And I remember thinking like, wow, this concept sounds really, really cool to me. And I just read a Frida book recently that I'm realizing is almost the exact same concept as this. So I'm kind of interested to see if the plot twists are exactly the same or not. Because I feel like I'm gonna go into this book thinking it's gonna be the same. So I'm interested to see if it actually is the same. Another thriller is The Woman in Cabin 10 by Ruth Ware, because I've been saying I've been wanting to read this forever because my friend Bethany loves this book. I haven't picked it up. Maybe it's because I'm worried I won't love it, but I'm sure I will love it. A romance I've been wanting to get to is Love Redesigned by Lauren Asher, but a lot of people say this is way too long. But another book in this series just came out or is like about to come out. So I want to read this so I can be a part of it because I loved Dreamland Billionaires, which is Lauren Asher's other series. And people said the last book and that one was too long, but that was actually my favorite book in the series. So I'm like, maybe I'll love this because the books are longer. The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. This is another one that I'm planning to read for my Reading My Followers 5-star reads books, but also my friend Angel's been telling me to pick up a Kristen Hanna book. Same with my friend Maggie for literally ever, and I have yet to do so. And I think I'm worried because I don't really like historical fiction that I'm just not gonna like this. But I always say that I don't like historical fiction, but I really haven't read very many, and the ones I have read I've liked. So maybe I do actually like historical fiction. And I also really want to continue the Throne of Glass series. I want to read this series so I can read the Crescent City books because I have them on Audible, and I just haven't picked this back up because fantasy just feels fall and summer to me. But I say that, but I just read a fantasy and gave it 5 stars. So I really like to contradict myself. But I really want to continue this series. I'd love to finish this series. And I'm hoping during like my Christmas break, if I haven't read it by then, which I would like to have read it by then. If I haven't read it by then I'm hoping my Christmas break from my placement, it's like 3 weeks. I have no excuses not to read it. I also want to finish the Good Girl's Guide to Murder series because there's like a TV series, I believe, that's coming out. I know it's out in the UK, but it's not out in Canada. But I know it will be out at some point and I'm going to want to watch it. So I've read the first book and really liked it. So I really want to read the second two just so I can say it's done and I've completed it. And there are 2 I have a book of the month subscription and I really shouldn't because I never read them. But I have 2 specifically that I've gotten this year that I really want to get to before the end of the year. The first one is House of Glass by Sarah Pekkanen. This is the one I recently got. This was my July pick. And the concept of this just sounds so good. And I've also never read a Sarah Pekkanen book before. And I'm always looking for new thriller authors. So I love reading thriller authors for the first time because it kind of tells me if I'm going to like them or not. I do usually give them more than one shot though. Usually. And the other one is The Ministry of Time by Kallianne Bradley. I don't know if that's how you say that. I've seen a couple different book talkers and booktubers read this. One specifically I can think of is Haley Fam, and they've all loved this, given it 5 stars, have been obsessed, and I just feel like this sounds like my vibe. Like I think I would really like this. So I really want to give it a try. Obviously there are a lot more books I want to get to. Like I'd love to get to Beach Read by Emily Henry and so many others, but I honestly cannot think of a lot of them off the top of my head. I want to finish The Last Letter by Rebecca Yarros, which is what I'm currently reading. I want to finish Keep It in the Family by John Mars, which is another one I'm currently reading. And I want to finish Till Death Do Us Part, which is an arc that I'm currently reading and loving. But 2 of those are going to be in my next video, so they're obviously going to get done. I'd also love to finish A Shadow in the Ember series. I've read the first 2 books, have not read the last one. And I would love to just get to some of my Fairy Loot books because I'm accumulating them and have not read them and I'm paying for them. So maybe I should read them. This list could really go on forever, which is why I just picked like a specific bunch. And like I said, I'm probably gonna finish this video and realize there was like a million of them that I wanna read that are new releases or haven't come out yet that I wanna read this year. And will I get to all these? Absolutely not, but we're gonna try. We're gonna try. Thank you for watching today's video. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.